congratulations, Rob. How are you feeling after that one?
Oh, obviously, ultimately, I'm a little bit frustrated because I thought we brought quite a lot of good qualities to the field tonight. It was always going to be, Rads it was tough to play multi-phase rugby out there. I think everyone could see that. Both teams knew it. I think for large parts of the game, we did a lot of things right. We squeezed territory pretty well. We created multiple opportunities in the 5 metre zone, multiple opportunities in the 22. We just couldn't convert enough of them, and ultimately, however I try and dress it up, that's what's cost it. We didn't convert our opportunities. Bordeaux converted theirs. A little bit frustrated. We probably gave them that field position late in the second half by trying to run and exit, like I say, in tough conditions. We end up dropping the ball, creates a scrum opportunity for Bordeaux, and they squeezed us there, and then they're scoring a try. And you've got to give them credit for that, actually, for being decisive in their opportunities, because listen, right up until the last 10 minutes of the game, when Shorty's sliding over there and we just lose the ball, there were opportunities there for us. We haven't taken them, and I suppose that's our frustration. But I'm certainly not frustrated with our desperation, our desire to go out there and physically give something to the game. And that's the big positive from me. I think earlier in the season, when we lost some games, we genuinely could have said, I don't think we physically committed enough to that game. I don't think that was the case today. I think we've committed to it really well. We've come up with a couple of important errors, and like I say, we've come up with not completing some of the opportunities we've created.
James Short's try that wasn't awarded.
Yeah, well, again, I think it's just a bit of an indication of how the night went for us. We had those opportunities, and we just didn't quite tough them out. We weren't quite decisive enough, quite forthright enough to just make them happen. And as I said, you've got to take your hat off the Bordeaux. There's some good desperation defence from them, and ultimately, they've come up and won a very important game.
After
Rob, what did you make of Jack Knowles' reappearance?
Yeah, I thought I think we've got to give Jack a little bit of time. I thought, considering the length of time he's been out, I thought he went very well. He had some important moments in the game for us. He was relatively error-free. And he will continue to get better now for a number of weeks. That's very much the base level, and he will push on from there.
Jeff Collins' injury?
It looks like an AC joint injury. We'll know a bit more over a period of time.
Last season you made such good strides in this competition, so close to the semi-finals, and 3 games in, and that's that. How do you?
Yeah, well, we did make some strides, but everyone needs to remember, we won a pool that we won it with 16 points, and everybody won 3 games, and I think that's still possible for us to go through and win 3 games. But the reality is we're a little bit frustrated. Ultimately, we're frustrated with that first performance against Clermont. That was a tough one to take, really. I think going over to Ulster and losing in such a tight, hard-fought game, that kind of thing happens, and you've got to be able to take that on the chin, and you've got to be able to deal with that by getting some points against Clermont at home or winning tonight. So I think ultimately I'm kind of okay where we're heading performance-wise. I think we're on an upward curve still. That bit I'm not too worried about. I'm frustrated by the loss, and I know the players are frustrated tonight because we've worked hard, but it's just something we've got to deal with. We've got to keep getting back in this competition. We've got to keep working hard every time we're there. We've got to keep learning from it, and we've got to keep driving ourselves. And we're still a relatively new team to the frontline European competition, and we just got to keep working very hard. And I thought, and adapting to it and understanding it. And I think, at least by committing to it tonight, like we did, we'll have learned something. We'll have probably learned a little bit more about how to manage our way through a really tight game, because we still could have done that tonight. We probably did make a mistake by running an exit. We didn't have to do that. And even though we weren't scoring points, we could have maintained a bit more composure and maybe seen that off. Okay.